All right, welcome back. Happy 2021. Welcome to the very first quizzing and quarantine of the new US presidential administration. Welcome to the first quizzing and quarantine since we've actually started somewhat aggressively rolling out vaccinations in this country. It feels good. It feels very good to be back with some good news to report and good friends to be back with, and some exciting news coming up to share with you in a couple of moments about this round of quizzing and quarantine as we begin our Friday, February edition. So thank you to everybody who's tuning in already. We already have almost 100 people online, which is fantastic. We'll give it a couple minutes to get settled, everyone to be refamiliarized with the rules. We'll share some links. We'll share some a bit of insight into how the next 4 weeks is going to unfold. And then, of course, we'll get down to trivia. So let me know if you're having any trouble hearing me, or if there's any technical issues. Let me know, because again, we're getting our feet wet, getting back into it. Going to try to do a bit more of a sober edition than we did on New Year's Eve. That was a little bit crazy, but it's nice to be back with you. Uh-oh, my flag fell. This is I've redecorated the set, as you can tell. But I haven't done a very thorough job of it. Let me try and get this better position, and then I'll explain to you, obviously, the context around the flag in a couple moments. All right, are you guys able to hear me? Everything sounds pretty good? Give me a thumbs up on the chat if you're awesome. Thanks, Kelsey. Great. So not much has changed in terms of the rules of quizzing and quarantine since we last met, but we do have some new friends on board, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. First of all, I want to give a shout out to our friends at Steam Whistle. They've been with us since the start, been so supportive and so loyal, and have provided us with prizes. And this time they're going even a step further, because they've helped us, introduced us to new friends, and those are the folks at the Downey Wenjack Farmland Foundation. And we are really, really excited to be working with them over the next month as we try to raise some funds, try to raise some awareness, and try to keep the incredible legacy that Gord Downey began in the final months of the final tour of the Tragically Hip. The Downey Wenjack Fund has an incredible story, and I don't think there's a Canadian in this country, hopefully, who hasn't heard of the work they do. And that work continues and has grown since the passing of Gord Downey. And tonight is such an incredible night to be launching this, because tomorrow is Gord Downey's birthday. And I think he would have been 57. And so to be able to carry on the legacy that he started and the work that his fund is doing and his family has picked up in his passing is just out of this world exciting. So I'll get into some details as we go on through the night as to how our partnership with the Downey Wenjack Fund will unfold. But if you're unfamiliar with the story behind it, I really encourage you certainly to listen to the Secret Path album, which is an incredible album. I got to see it perform live with Gord Downey and Kevin Hearn and Kevin Drew, I think, was involved. There are a number of incredible artists and musicians involved in creating that album. But it told the story of Downey Wenjack, who was a young boy taken from his home, put in a residential school in Northern Ontario, and wanted to move back and find his family, and he left that school and tragically never made it home. He froze to death, and I believe was found by a train conductor sometime later in Northern Ontario. It's a heartbreaking story, and one that highlights and underscores the pretty disgusting chapter of our history in this country that was defined by residential schools. That story was written in a Maclean's article in the 60s, I believe, and it was discovered and uncovered by Gord Downey, who picked it up and turned it into an incredible album, which is also an incredible graphic art novel, which is also an incredible animated rendering. Lots of incredible art to engage around that story, and underneath it all, a really great cause. So that's just a bit of a snapshot of the story behind, as I know it. And I'm very much on the outside, but I'm learning more about the fund and the work they do, and we're going to learn together. And most importantly, we're also going to fundraise together. And I'm going to share a link with you right now that I'll be sharing throughout the course of the next 4 weeks. Again, drinking or quizzing in quarantine is free. Anyone is welcome to participate. You do not have to pay admission, none of that. But if you want to support a great cause, we are going to try and raise $5,000 in the month of February for the Downey Wenjack Fund. We're going to have some trivia games and contests that specifically speak to that fundraising effort, but there's nothing stopping you from simply digging deep or just reaching into your pocket to see what you got on you and donating it to this incredible fund. Yeah, you're right, Liz. Secret Path is, I mean, not only does it tell a great story, but it's a beautiful, beautiful album. And if you haven't listened to it, you owe yourself that. So I am going to share right now our fundraising link. I won't, again, that's not going to be the sole focus of the next 4 weeks, but it is something that we want to be trying to accomplish. And after we saw the incredible generosity of this group had for Food Banks Canada back in November and December, I have a feeling we will reach $5,000 for this very, very worthy cause. What's also really cool is thanks to the folks at the Downey Wenjack Fund, they have helped me access or acknowledge a bit of a blind spot in my trivia. And I'm really excited over the course of the next 4 weeks to include some trivia questions that relate to Indigenous culture and Indigenous heritage and Indigenous history in our country. In their country, in many of these, many cases. And so I'm going to be trying to integrate some of those questions into trivia to expand my knowledge base and hopefully yours as well. And maybe there are questions, and these are things that you might already know already, and you can shine as a trivia star. So that's how things are just a little bit different over the next 4 weeks. Still the same rounds, still amazing prizes from Steam Whistle. I got to open my Steam Whistle beer. I will be drinking exclusively Steam Whistle beers this month, which is pretty good for me actually, because those IPAs, as we remember, were not always kind. Delicious, but not kind. Whereas the Pilsner from Steam Whistle is a classic, true beer you can drink for an entire evening of trivia. So that's it. That's pretty much the ground rules. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. Champagne, I never had champagne to begin with. It was relaxed bubbles, far from champagne, in our previous episode. We've departed from that, back to the beer, and back to trivia. So here's how this works. 6 rounds of trivia, each round worth roughly 10 points. I will share again, but I have shared the tracking document, which is where you input your scores to see how you are doing compared to everybody else. I'll see those scores auto-populate in an Excel sheet I have in front of me, and we'll check in on points and prizes throughout the night. Don't forget to come up with a creative team name. We always like to give shout outs to people who are able to come up with inventive team names. All the better if they relate to something in the news cycle. And that's pretty much it. I think we are good to start. Thanks for the toot to the folks at Downey Wenjack, because I, like most of us, have not gotten a haircut in far too long, and I'm looking mighty disheveled. All right, we got 154 people watching, which is fantastic. We're going to get underway. It is almost 10 after 8. Hopefully everyone who has kids has put them to bed, or at least given them some iPads to play with, and we can dedicate the next 2 hours to nerding out over useless trivia. It is a big weekend for trivia nerds because we've got the Super Bowl on, which always lends us some good trivia opportunities. We got our Toronto boy performing the halftime show at the Super Bowl. We got a Toronto boy hosting SNL tomorrow night, Dan Levy, which is so incredible, so proud of him. And all of those types of things are going to lend themselves to some great trivia. So here we go. First round up for grabs is things I think you should know. 10 random knowledge trivia questions. Each question is worth a single point. And yes, if you're new to trivia tonight, simply write down your answer, and I will take up the answers after our first 2 rounds. Honesty is a big part of this this event. It works only if we respect the rules that no one Googles the answers. And then I will give you the answers after the first 2 rounds. You'll input your scores, and we'll update that way. All right. I think, and I'll read the questions twice and once at the end of the round in case you want them repeated. Here we go. Starting with things I think you should know, 10 random knowledge trivia questions. These questions are not always easy, so buckle up. Here we go. Starting with that Super Bowl halftime show. The Weeknd this Sunday will become only the third Canadian to headline a Super Bowl halftime show. Name one of the other two Canadians who have also had this honor. Here's a hint. One did it in 1997, and the other did it in 2003. One is a male performer, one is a female performer. If you can guess one of those names, you will get a point. Question number one, name one of the two Canadians who previous to the weekend have headlined a Super Bowl halftime show. Question number two, and thanks to our friends at the Downey Wenjack Fund for this question. Name three of the four colors of the Indigenous medicine wheel, much like the one you might see if you're walking by the Toronto sign at Nathan Phillips Square. Name three of the four colors that are found in the traditional Indigenous medicine wheel. Question number three. On what day does the Ides of March fall? Question number three. On what day does the Ides of March fall? I'm going to need a better permanent solution for this flag, which is going to come in the form of duct tape. This is like an episode of the Red Green Show. Remember that show? He fixed a lot of things with duct tape. All right, that was question number three. Question number four. Name the man who famously founded the restaurant chain Wendy's back in November of 1969. Oh, it is crooked. It's crooked, but it's not falling down yet. So when it falls down next, we'll work on the crookedness. Unless there are some people for whom that will really piss off trying to watch this while it's crooked. We'll wait till the end of the first round and then I'll fix the flag. Again, question number four. Name the man who famously founded the restaurant chain Wendy's back in November of 1969. I believe it was Columbus, Ohio was the first Wendy's restaurant. Question number five, things I think you should know. What term is used in Mexico to describe a popular local style of professional wrestling? Sean, that's exactly right. Scores, you record your score. We record the scores in a Google Doc here, but there's an honor system in ensuring that you input your scores and record your answers correctly. Matt, I'll read it again. I'll read that question again. Question number five. What term is used in Mexico to describe a popular local style of professional wrestling? Adam, I can certainly slow my roll. For you, I would do anything because Adam is one of the people from Reunion Coffee who, again, is providing prizes, which is so incredibly generous. I'd slow down for anybody, but definitely for Adam Pesky. Question number six. Name 2 of the 5 European capital cities that are only 4 letters in length. Again, name 2 of the possible 5 correct answers, European capital cities whose names are 4 letters in length. If Lima was located in Europe, it would be a correct answer, but it's not. I'm just providing it as an example. Here's question number 7. I have to say I'm quite proud of myself for some of these questions tonight. I tapped into things I'd never thought of asking before, and this is a question I'm excited about. I'm curious to see if people are able to nail this one. Question number 7. 7 different films about sports have won the Oscar for Best Picture. 5 of those 7 have been about one specific sport. Can you name that sport? There's a question about the previous question regarding European capitals. Yes, these are the English spellings. Not to be so Anglo-centric, but I'm not proficient in any other language enough to be able to verify the answer. So yes, English answers only. Thanks, Sean, right? I was proud of this one, proud of this question. Of the 7 movies that have won a Best Picture that are about sports, that are sports forms the central plot line, 5 of them are about one sport in particular. Name that sport. Question number 8 is a Know Your News Week question, or Know Your News question. It's a question from the news cycle in the last 7 days. Various aspects of news we cover during this question. This one is, I guess, to some degree, political news. Here's the question. This week, the Speaker of the House of Commons in Ottawa ruled that what must be, quote, plain and neutral when worn by MPs in the legislature? Question number 8, Know Your News. This week, the Speaker of the House of Commons ruled that what must be, quote, plain and simple when worn by MPs in the legislature? What was the Speaker of the House referring to? Jacob, you are 100% right. I felt more buoyant approaching tonight, knowing that there weren't as many landmines I had to navigate in the news cycle. Question number 9, things I think you should know. This is from the world of horticulture or gardening. What term refers to a plant that grows season after season for more than 2 consecutive years? Question number 9, what term refers to a plant that grows season after season for more than 2 consecutive years? Paige, there are about 10 questions per round, but each round has a bit of a different format, and I'll explain each format as we go. And finally, Question number 10, the last question in this round. In the world of children's literature, what are Bert, Nan, Freddie, and Flossie better known as? Yep, I'll repeat that one question again. Question number 10. In the world of children's literature, what are Bert, Nan, Freddie, and Flossie better known as? Again, if you're brand new tonight, I will fully admit these first 10 questions are not too easy. So take some comfort in knowing that, and know that there are, I think, a little bit more accessible questions to come through the night. There's also some really hard ones. We're going to do a before and after round this week, which is never easy. All right, those are the 10 questions that make up round number 1. I will repeat each question very quickly, just as a recap before we move on to round number 2. Here we go. Going back to question number 1. The Weeknd this Sunday will become the 3rd Canadian to headline the Super Bowl halftime show. Name one of the other 2 Canadian performers who have had this honor. Here's a hint. One did it in 1997, a male performer, and one did it in 2003, a female performer. Here's question number 2. Name 3 of the 4 colors on the Indigenous medicine wheel, much like the one that you would see in Nathan Phillips Square as part of the Toronto sign. Question number 3. On what day does the Ides of March fall? Question number 4. Name the man who founded the restaurant chain Wendy's on November 15, 1969. Question number 5. What term is used in Mexico to describe a popular local style of wrestling? Question number 6. Name 2 of the 5 European capital cities that are only 4 letters in length. Question number 7. 7 different films about sports have won the Oscar for Best Picture. 5 of those films were all about the same sport. Name that sport. Question number 8. This week, the Speaker of the House of Commons ruled that what must be, quote, plain and neutral when worn by members of Parliament in the legislature. Question number 9. What term refers to a plant that grows season after season for more than 2 consecutive years? And question number 10. In the world of children's literature, what are Bert, Nan, Freddie, and Flossie better known as? Those are the 10 questions. We will now move on to round number 2. Here's how this works. Round number 2 is called the 10. And I am going to give you a list of things, a list or a topic, and you have to write down 10 things that accurately belong on that list. You'll get a single point for every correct item on the list. And as I mentioned, it's a big weekend for Canadian talent. Already referenced The Weeknd and his appearance at the Super Bowl halftime show. Also tomorrow night, airing on Global, Saturday Night Live, Dan Levy, Toronto guy. A lot of people I think on this chat even know him. I know there's some folks who went to high school with Dan. Dan is hosting SNL, which is incredible, and he's joining a pretty esteemed list of Canadians who in the last 20 years have also hosted SNL. You have to name at least 10, well, you only have to name 10 Canadians who have hosted SNL in the last 20 years. No problem, Paige. I will read out the answers for rounds 1 and rounds 2 after we finish round 2. Every 2 rounds, we recap the answers. I should have explained that better. So I'm going to give you 8 minutes to complete this list. Eight minutes starting now. You have to name 10 Canadians who have hosted, not just musical guest, hosted SNL in the last 20 years. So since February 4th, 2001. 8 minutes starting now. Dan Levy is yet to host. Correct. Dan Levy is not on this list. If we asked it on Sunday, God willing, he would be on the list. Checking in on the time, 5 minutes. 5 minutes left to complete 10 Canadians who have hosted SNL in the last 2 decades. You cannot write down more than 10 answers. You can't write down 20 names and just hope that 10 of them are correct. You can only write down 10 names. Oh my God, you guys are incredible. Already up to $705 of our on our way to our $5,000 goal for the Downey Wenjack fund this month. That's incredible. we'll do a 50-50 later on, where half the money will go, not tonight, but later on in the month, half the money will go to the winning team and half the money will go to the Downey Wenjack Fund. So there will be some other opportunities to win and benefit and support the Downey Wenjack Fund at the same time. Three minutes left in the round. Why did I mention after 2001? I don't know. I didn't want to go back into, I mean, SNL's been on since I think 1975. So I just thought I'd keep it somewhat current. So if you mention someone like Paul Anka, whether he's hosted or not, he probably is not hosted in the last 20 years. "30 seconds left until the end of the round. All right, and that is time. Time to put down your writing utensils, and we will take up the answers from round 1 and round 2. And then we will invite you to input your scores and your team names into the Google Doc. But before we do that, obviously, round number 1. Round number 1, question number 1. I asked, name one of the 2 other Canadians, in addition to the Weeknd, who have headlined a Super Bowl halftime show. This is a tough question. It's a little obscure, certainly one of them. The first Canadian to actually headline a Super Bowl halftime show, believe it or not, in 1997, was Dan Aykroyd. He and Jim Belushi headlined as the Blues Brothers. That's one answer. The other, Shania Twain in 2003. Shania Twain. Dan Aykroyd and Shania Twain. Question number 2. You had to name 3 of the 4 colors that make up the medicine wheel, the Indigenous medicine wheel. Those colors are red, black, yellow, and white. Assuming you had 3 of those colors correct, you get a point. Question number 3. On what day does the Ides of March fall on? That would be March 15th, middle of March, as referenced in Julius Caesar and other works. March 15th. Name the man who founded the restaurant chain Wendy's. That would be Dave Thomas. Question number 5. The term used in Mexico to describe a popular local variety of professional wrestling. That would be lucha libre. Lucha libre. Number 6. Name 2 of the 5 European capital cities that are only 4 letters in length. You needed 2 of them. You could have gotten Bern, capital of Switzerland, Kyiv, capital of Ukraine, Oslo, capital of Norway, Riga, capital of Lithuania, and Rome, capital of Italy. The one that was sort of on the cusp, but we're not accepting, is Nuuk, the capital of Greenland. Greenland, technically not a country. So Bern, Kyiv, Oslo, Riga, and Rome. As long as you got 2 of those, you get a point. Latvia, thank you. Latvia, I knew it was it. Thank you. Moving on to question number 7. 7 different films about sports have won the Best Picture Oscar. 5 of them were about boxing. Yeah, popular sport to make films out of. The Champ, Raging Bull, The Fighter, Rocky, and $1 Million Baby, all about boxing. The other 2, I should have asked this as a bonus question, but the other 2, they were about sport or horse racing. National Velvet won in 1944, and Chariots of Fire in 1981 about sprinting or long distance running. So boxing, though, is the correct answer. Question number 8. The Speaker of the House of Commons ruled that what must be plain and neutral? If you think of where we're at as a society, masks must be plain and neutral. I guess there were some MPs, I think from Alberta in particular, who came in wearing masks that were supporting their support or indicated their support for the oil patch. And the Speaker ruled that no political messaging can be included on masks of members of Parliament. Masks. Number 9, the term referring to plants that grow season after season for more than 2 consecutive years. Perennials. Perennials is the answer. And finally, number 10, Bert, Nan, Freddie, and Flossie from the world of children's literature are better known as the Bobbsey twins. I didn't realize that, but there are 2 sets of twins in the Bobbsey family that make up the Bobbsey twins. Those are the answers for round number 1. Moving on to the 10. I'll start in chronological order, going back to 2001. The Canadians who have hosted SNL. There's one name on this list that you might roll your eyes at, but technically he's Canadian, so technically he counts. But here we go. First up in the last 20 years, Nia Vardolas. She was the woman who starred in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Number 2, Dan Aykroyd. Dan Aykroyd again. Number 3, Elliot Page. Elliot Page hosted back in 2004, I believe. Seth Rogen. Number 5, and then next up, Ryan Reynolds. Then Martin Short has hosted recently. Justin Bieber. Jim Carrey. Drake. I think he's done it twice. The Rock, who is, because of his dad, a Canadian citizen. Therefore, he counts. The Rock. Ryan Gosling. And the most recent Canadian on this list, and the only female on this list, Sandra Oh, hosted SNL just, I believe, a season or 2 ago. Again, that list. Oh, sorry, Sandra is not the only female on the list. Nia Vardolas as well. Nia Vardolas, Dan Aykroyd, Elliot Page, Seth Rogen, Ryan Reynolds, Martin Short, Justin Bieber, Jim Carrey, Drake, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Gosling, and Sandra Oh. Wayne Gretzky might have hosted, but he hasn't hosted in the last 20 years. He has hosted, in fact, I know, but and actually, that was quite a while ago. I think in the late 80s, early 90s. What was number 3? The answer to number 3 was March 15th, back in round number 1. All right, so those are the answers to rounds 1 and rounds 2. Now, I will share the link again, but please head over to the Quizzing and Quarantine Google Doc scorecard and enter your points and your team name. Justin Bieber, I think, once hosted at the same time he was a musical guest, and also I think once hosted when he wasn't a musical guest. He's also since been just a musical guest, but you had to pick, I was looking for Canadians who have hosted specifically. Yeah, Eugene Levy never has. His son will before he ever gets a chance. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I don't know if Eugene Levy will pop up on the broadcast tomorrow, because I think he's in Toronto, and it would mean he'd have to break, like, I think it's obviously onerous to travel right now, but who knows? So Scott, what you do now is click that form and you submit your scores for the first 2 rounds. In a couple minutes, I'll introduce all the teams, and then we'll move on with round 3 and round 4. I will accept Luchador. Yeah, yes. I won't accept Nacho Libre, but I will accept Luchador. Yes, Gordon, please submit. All right, we got lots of scores coming in. 64 scores already. 64 teams are registering. I will take a look here. Nice to see so many familiar faces, as well as it looks like some new ones too, registering tonight. All right. All right, here we go. Here are the teams in no particular order playing tonight, battling it out for Steam Whistle beer, as well as some prizes and coffee from Reunion Coffee. We have Marjorie Trivia Green and the Quizinons. Not bad. We've got YTV's Weird on Wheels congratulates co-host Jessie Cruikshank and her Evan Gatika's quarantine baby, or bebe. Yeah, congrats to Jessie, a good friend of Quizzing and Quarantine, a good friend of mine, and her amazing husband Evan. They are expecting in a couple months, and yeah, they made it quarantine productive. Penelope's huge mistake, a case of the Mondays, living Covita Loca, threat level midnight, pickled onions, we don't know Jack Brady's dad, Christopher Bummer, that's a good name, and sad note, but a good name. Bitch, I'm Moderna, also a good name. Biker Mice from Mars, Deep State Pizzagate, Vaccination Nation, question mark, Biracle on Parliament Street, 469, Damn She Fine, Penny and the Jets, Hot Fart and the Turds, My Big Fat Greek Weapon, Trivia Lassie's The Dog, You're a Quizzard Harry, insert clever trivia name here, Plummer, I Hardly Know Her, sorry too soon, Team Kevin's Chili, Tit Soup for the Thirsty for Mackay's Soul, that's sweet, Swamp Cityers, Cloves Clan, A&O Quizzards, D's Nuts, Corona Matala, It Means All the Worries, that's good, the Calverts, The Ship Has Weathered Every Rack, The Prize We Sought is Mackay's Wayfarer Chairs, that is deep, the Tom Brady Bunch, Bitch Mustard, Jewish Space Laser Quest, Corona with Lime, Monocle Whores, Portal Pilgrims, The Shitty Beatles, Is it Groundhog Day again? Is it Groundhog Day again? Is it okay, we move on. Honey Wagon Swampers, second last. Get the funk out of my quiz. Chad Chat goes dark. COVID-69, make the Rock the Governor General. I'd get behind that. Woodsies, Thigh Masters of the Universe. Panic Level Midnight. CrustaceanHub.com. Scory. 800-pound gorillas, I like that. Brain Dogs, Team DWF, some of us, welcome. Actually, we have folks playing from the Downey Wenjack Fund, thank you. Mackay's 50 mission cap, I like it, very on point. Team Not Smart Enough, Jackie Channing Tatum, good to see you guys back. The Philbos, Wendy and the Dave Thomases, Pinky and the Brainiacs, Just the Few of Us, By Den of Inequity, Fubar, Soup Lovers 2.0, Fine Balance, Team Fine Balance, Here We Go Again, Cohill Drive, Big Brian Academy, we hope your date night's going well, Jacob, Bat Moose and the Quizzly Bears, Colvindorific, Down for Downey, Killer, Politically Motivated Masks, The Other Team, and that's it. Those are all the teams. 75 teams competing tonight. Holy, that might be a record. That is impressive. And thank you for humoring me as I read them all out. Great names, though. Great names. All right. Swamp Sisters. Oh, I'm sorry. I messed that. Julia, I apologize. I'll get that right when we do a redo. Or if you come in first, I'll have to read it again. All right. Here we go. Moving on to round number 3, which is another things I think you should know. 10 more questions about general knowledge trivia. Each question, again, worth a single point. I'll repeat them twice, once at the end of the round. All rules still apply. Here we go. Question number 1. As of 2016, as of the 2016 Canadian census, how many of Canada's 10 provinces have 1 million or more people? How many Canadian provinces have a population of 1 million or more? If you guess the correct number, you'll get a single point. If you guess the number correct and you can name them all, you'll also get a bonus point. That's optional. This is as of 2016 national census data. Again, as of the 2016 census, how many of Canada's 10 provinces have a population of more than 1 million people? And if you think you want to take a stab at a bonus point, name the provinces that have at least 1 million people. Question number 2, as a team referred to, sad news from the world of Canadian arts and culture. Christopher Plummer passed away today at the age of 91. He is actually, amongst many things, the oldest male actor to win an acting Oscar. For what movie did Christopher Plummer win an Oscar? I think he was 81 or 82 at the time. Name the film for which Christopher Plummer won an Oscar. Question number 2. Question number 3, related somewhat to question number 2. Who in 1989 became the oldest woman to win a Best Actress Oscar? This record is still intact to this day. In 1989, she became the oldest actress to win a Best Actress Oscar. Who is she? Question number 4. Name the Métis leader regarded as the founder of Manitoba. Question number 4, from the world of Indigenous history. Name the Métis leader regarded as the founder of Manitoba. Ooh, Laura calling me out. I'm going to have to go back and check. Maybe I should. I use this thing called the internet to source my questions, and I'm starting to realize that the internet sometimes isn't always exactly correct. And on further inspection, okay, I'll deal with that question. You're right, Laura, and you have reason to be suspect of my Oscars knowledge. I'm confident in this one about the Best Actress Oscar, the oldest winner ever. And I realize I should have phrased my previous question about Oscar sports movies a little bit differently. It's not incorrect, but I phrased it in a way that made it incorrect. We'll get into that after. Jeff, that is the ultimate rule of trivia, is the quizmaster has veto power. On to question number 5, somewhat linked to the Super Bowl. Who was president of the United States when the first ever Super Bowl was held? So you kind of do a bit of math here, figure out what number Super Bowl we're about to have. Subtract that. Okay, you can figure it out, but I feel like you can get there on this question, or thereabouts. And as a bonus, who was the Canadian Prime Minister when the first Super Bowl was held? Again, question number 5. Who was the President of the United States when the first Super Bowl was held? And as a bonus question, who was the Prime Minister of Canada when the first Super Bowl was held? Question number 6, more sad celebrity news this week. Dustin Diamond, the actor who played Screech on TV's Saved by the Bell, passed away at just 44. What was Screech's real name on Saved by the Bell? The actor was Dustin Diamond, but the character, Screech was his nickname. What was the real name of the character, Screech, on Saved by the Bell? I'm going to get me another steam whistle. Pull up. Question number 7. In the world of linguistics, English is the official language of the most countries of the world. 55 countries list English as an official language, perhaps in conjunction with other languages, like in Canada, it's French and English. But that is the language that is an official language of the most countries. What language is second in terms of most countries listing it as an official language? This has nothing to do with most widely spoken, or nothing to do with anything other than when listed as an official language, this language is second in the world when looking at countries that list languages as their official ones. Question number 8. Tom Brady is a decent football player. He's also old. And that is something that has been noted a lot in the lead up to this Super Bowl on Sunday. But there are other older players who have been successful in the NFL. And here's a question about old NFL players. Name the NFL player who has caught the most passes while over 40. Name the NFL player, may not be currently playing in the league, but in the history of the league, this is the player who, while playing over the age of 40, has caught the most passes. One second. Question number 9. Name the 1999 comedy film that was promoted using the tagline, quote, "Work sucks." Again, question number 9. What 1999 film was promoted using the tagline, quote, "Work sucks"? And finally, question number 10, last question in the round. Name the fictional character who was famous in part for having a dog named Sandy. This is a fictional character who's been featured in comics, in film, on stage. And this fictional character is famous in part for having a dog named Sandy. Name that character. All right, those are the 10 questions that make up round number 3. I will read each question one more time before we move on to round number 4. Starting with question number 1, it is this. As of the 2016 census, how many of Canada's 10 provinces have a population of more than 1 million? And for a bonus point, name those provinces. Question number 2, Christopher Plummer died today at 91 years old. He is the oldest male actor to win an acting Oscar. For what movie did he win an Oscar? Question number 3, who in 1989 became the oldest woman to win a Best Actress Oscar? I should be clear too on question number 2 related to Christopher Plummer. I'm not saying he necessarily won the Best Actor Oscar. It was an acting Oscar, so it could be Best Supporting or Best Actor. Question number 4, name the Métis leader regarded as the founder of Manitoba. Question number 5, who was President of the United States when the first ever Super Bowl was played? And as a bonus question, who was the Prime Minister of Canada at that same time? Question number 6, Dustin Diamond, the actor who played Screech on Saved by the Bell, passed away at age 44 this week. What was his character's real name? Question number 7, English is the official language of the most countries of the world. 55 countries identify English as one of their official languages. What language is second in terms of listed most often as an official language? Question number 8, name the NFL player who has caught the most passes while over the age of 40. Question number 9, name the 1999 comedy film that was promoted using the tagline, quote, "Work sucks." And finally, number 10, Name the fictional character from comics, from screen, from stage, who is famous in part for having a dog named Sandy. All right, those are all the questions in the round. We are now moving on to round number 4. It is a picture this round. Here's how this is going to work. I'm going to share with you a document that I'm uploading to as a Google Doc. And you are going to have to take a look at these images. You're going to have 8 minutes to figure this out. Let me just upload it. I should have done that. So tonight's picture this round is relating to the world of movies, but more specifically, again, because it's Super Bowl weekend, I figured I would stick to the theme. It's sports movies. I have included a screen grab of 10 different films. And you have to write down what film you believe that screen grab is from. Should be simple enough. Thanks, Spam. I think I did. I always mess up the share permissions, but I think they are correct. I've shared the document. Tell me if you're able to open it. If not, I will revisit. But I think 7 minutes. No link. Come on, Jacob. James, you still see no document? Christopher, I would just do no document. Yeah, I would do top left, then the one beside it, like you're reading a book. I'll pin it. Should be pinned now. But 7 minutes are on the clock. Correct. Go left to right, and then next line. To be honest, it's not a big deal as long as you have the right titles written down, whatever order you've written them down in. We'll find a way. Good. Glad you have it now, James. Sounds like that was a James problem and not a Mackay problem. Just to be clear. Anyone else having problems accessing the document? Four and a half minutes left. Just under a minute left in this round. Minute to complete the sports movie picture this round. All right, that is time. Time to put down your pens and pencils or keyboard, and we will take up the answers from round 3 and round 4. All right, starting with round number 3, the things I think you should know, the random knowledge trivia answers, each one worth a point unless there are bonus points attached, which I will indicate. Here we go, starting with question number 1. As of 2016, as of the 2016 census, how many of Canada's 10 provinces have a population of 1 million or more? There are actually 6 of them. 6 provinces have more than 1 million people, and you're going to wonder which they are. The ones that have 1 million people, obviously, Ontario, Quebec, British Columbia, Alberta, and believe it or not, Manitoba and Saskatchewan also on this list. Ontario, Quebec, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba are the 6 Canadian provinces that have over 1 million people, some just slightly over 1 million, but still over 1 million. If you got that, if you listed all those 6 provinces correctly, you get a bonus point. Question number 2, things I think you should know, round number 2. Christopher Plummer, for what film did he win his Best Supporting Actor Oscar? It was for a film called Beginners. Beginners is the correct answer. Number 3, who in 1989 became the oldest female actress to win a Best Actress Oscar? It was for a movie called Driving Miss Daisy, also with Dan Aykroyd. Man, he's in everything tonight. But it was Jessica Tandy was the performer, the actress who won the Best Actress Oscar. Jessica Tandy. Number 4, name the Métis leader who is regarded as the founder of Manitoba. Was tried in a very famous trial in Canadian history. Louis Riel. Louis Riel is the answer to number 4. Number 5, who was the president of the United States when the Super Bowl was first played for the first time back in 1967? It was LBJ, Lyndon B. Johnson. President Johnson is the correct answer. And for a bonus point, you needed to know who the Canadian Prime Minister was in 1967. That would have been at the time of our centennial year, Expo 67 in Montreal. It was Lester B. Pearson. Pearson is the correct answer. That's a bonus point, by the way. Number 6, what was Screech's full name in the TV show Saved by the Bell? It was Samuel Powers. Samuel Powers, the correct answer. Question number 7, English, the most common language to have listed as an official language of a country, 55 countries. The second language with 29 countries in the world identifying it as an official language is French. Yeah, French. You might think Spanish would be up there. Spanish is actually 4th. It goes English at 55, French at 29, Arabic, 22 countries, Spanish, 15 countries, and then Portuguese, 10 countries. Question number 8, name the NFL player who has caught the most passes over the age of 40. That would be Jerry Rice. Question number 9, the 1999 film that was promoted using the tagline, quote, "Work sucks," was Office Space. And finally, question number 10, last question in the round. the fictional character who had a dog named Sandy was Annie, little orphan Annie. All except just Annie is fine. On to the film round. You had to name the 10 films that were included in that Google Doc, just based on their screen grabs. Not easy. Some of them are harder than others. Movie number 1, that's Keira Knightley there. Bend It Like Beckham is number 1. Number 2, the film Coach Carter, basketball film. Coach Carter is number 2. Number 3, also an Oscar winner, I believe, for this film. That's Allison Janney there. She played the mother of Tonya Harding in the film I, Tonya. I, Tonya is the film. Number 4, not easy unless you know, and if you know, you know, is a scene from Happy Gilmore, the crocodile or the alligator head in Happy Gilmore with Adam Sandler. Number 5, arguably certainly the oldest movie in this list, maybe one of the tougher ones. That is a film called Pride of the Yankees. Pride of the Yankees. Movie number 6, great film from the 90s, Cutting Edge. Hockey player who I think loses an eye and then gets into figure skating. Cutting Edge is number 6. Number 7, this has got to be specific here. It's a Mighty Ducks movie. That's Team Iceland in the screen grab there. They featured in D2 Mighty Ducks. I'll accept Mighty Ducks 2, though technically the name is D2, the Mighty Ducks. But if you put just Mighty Ducks, incorrect, because it is definitely the sequel. Remember, Iceland is green and Greenland is icy? Toe pick, great reference, Grace. Great reference. On to movie number 7, I think that's Sean Astin, isn't it? In Rudy. Rudy, famous football film, is number 7. That's number 8 is Rudy. Number 9, you can see Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna. I think Gina Davis in that frame too. A scene from League of Their Own. They're not on the baseball field, but it is the famous female baseball league that started up during the Second World War, featured in A League of Their Own. And finally, sticking with baseball, movie number 10, there's Jonah Hill in Moneyball. Moneyball is number 10. All right, those are the answers for rounds 3 and rounds 4. Time now for you to update your score and for Jacob to update us on his date night. Jacob, you can feel free to update us with any pertinent details in the chat, or if you'd like the video chat, I'm sure we can arrange that as well. The rest of you, while Jacob does that, you can enter your scores in the Google Doc and I will update where we are at. I didn't do averages last time, so I'll do the averages for the first 4 rounds. All right, looks like we're getting scores from a lot of teams for rounds 3 and rounds 4. In case you were wondering what the average was in round number 1, I thought the questions were a little tough this week, but seemingly people did quite well. Amongst all 75 teams playing, the average for round 1 was 8. Oh, well done. The average for round 2, which was the 10, not as astute, was 6. Average for round 1 was 8. Average for round 2 was 6. If you're wondering about round 3, most scores appear to be in now. The average for round 3, keeping in mind there was an opportunity to score higher than 10. I guess the maximum score was 12 possible points for round 3. Average score is 7 for round 3. And for round 4, the average score, this again being the movie round, was 8. So all in all, people are doing incredibly well. We got a, if I do some quick math, 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 7 is 21, plus another 8 is 29. So if you are scoring anywhere 29 or above right now, you are above average. Congratulations. If you're not there yet, don't worry, because there is still 2 more rounds to come. Plus, we do have the penultimate prize for the team that comes in second last. That's great to hear, Jacob. Not sure if this is a first date. That would certainly change the tone of your message, but glad to hear it's going well. Yeah, ladies, you know he's a keeper if he invites you over so you can mod a YouTube chat together. All right, I'm going to unpin James's message. That's enough of that. And we will get on now to round number 4. I also want to update as well. Again, this is the first week. I don't want to pressure people into donating this week. Think about it. If you got some spare, change, if you go to buy coffee this week and you pocket an extra $1 or something, keep it aside for the Downey Wenjack fund. But we are already up to $7.95, which is incredible in our first go around. But I will share the link again if you're looking to support an incredible organization doing incredible work for Indigenous communities and Canada as a whole. And tomorrow's Gord Downey's birthday. So what better present? I can't imagine a better present to give to Gord Downey and to the Downey family and the Downey Wenjack Fund than donating to that cause. All right, here we go. On to round number 3, which some of you might celebrate this, others might regret that we are bringing back the before and after round. It's cryptic, it can be tough, but it's also kind of fun if you figure out the format. If you ever watch Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune and you know the before and after format, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to read a clue and it's going to include reference to 2 different answers. You have to kind of figure out the answers to both parts of the clue, combine it, it'll be an adjoining word or phrase, and you'll get the answer. So if I said something like, the star of Mission Impossible rides a heat-seeking weapon, the answer would be Tom Cruise missile, Cruise being the adjoining word. If I said something like, workers at a popular Toronto brewery hum this Disney tune as they head into the office in the morning, the answer would be steam whistle while you work. Got it? I'll go slow. Yeah, thank you for that reminder. If I said something like, Nicole Kidman's husband invests in a formerly popular restaurant app, the answer might be Keith Urban Spoon. And you're right, Jennifer, in order for the answer to be correct, the answers have to have 3 adjoining letters. Can't just be 1 or 2, it has to be 3 letters. So that's pretty much it. Don't feel bad if you don't get it right away. This is a tough round. Oh, GameStop the steal. See, I was trying to think of some timely ones, and I have no GameStop trivia questions this week. That's unfortunate. Anyway, but I think we'll do before and after all month long. So if you don't get it this week, don't worry. There's a chance to figure out the format as we continue on. Here we go. Before and after, question number 1, somewhat newsy. Here it is. After facing off against Tom Brady this Sunday, he plans to relax by taking a trip to this Canadian housewares store. Guys, if you have good before and afters, don't waste them. Send them to me secretly, and I'll use them because my mind is not as what it used to be. Connor McDavid Suzuki is a good one. I've never used that one. But going back again, the first question in the round, before and after. After facing off against Tom Brady this Sunday, he plans to relax by taking a trip to this Canadian housewares store. Question number 2. This country suffered a coup this past week. It was almost as unsettling as this 2015 Matt Damon film. Again, question number 2. This country suffered a coup this past week. It was almost as unsettling as this 2015 Matt Damon film. Question number 3, before and after. According to Merriam-Webster, it's an urban male given to enhancing his personal appearance by fastidious grooming. They may or they may not groom themselves while listening to Marvin Gaye sing "Let's Get Down Tonight." Angela, I will definitely repeat all the questions at the end of the round. And as a reminder, as Jacob pointed out, you can also rewind and watch the stream previously. Here again, though, is the question to number 3. According to Merriam-Webster, it is an urban male given to enhancing his personal appearance by fastidious grooming. They may or they may not groom themselves while listening to Marvin Gaye sing "Let's Get Down Tonight." Question number 4, before and after. The Raptors are currently sharing an arena with this NHL team. Apparently, they're huge fans of this 1994 single from the band Live. Question number 4 again. The Raptors are currently sharing an arena with this NHL team. Apparently, they're huge fans of a 1994 single from the band Live. Question number 5. She's released at least 31 new songs during the pandemic. That's almost as many people as live in this small Saskatchewan city. Again, question number 5. She's released at least 31 new songs during the pandemic. That's almost as many people as live in this small Saskatchewan city. Question number 6, before and after. Marshall McLuhan gets drunk, does karaoke, and covers this police hit. Let me rephrase that. I think I can make it a little more clear. Marshall McLuhan does karaoke and covers this hit from the Police. Sorry, Lucas, I will slow down a little bit because I know for people who are new to this round, it can be kind of tricky. And Jennifer, yeah, the town has more than 31 people by far, but I was just trying to make a connection. But yeah, thousands. Here is question number 7. Travel from the ovaries to the uterus in style, wearing this sleeveless number, originally made popular in the 1960s. Question number 7 again, before and after. Travel from the ovaries to the uterus in style, wearing this sleeveless number, originally made popular in the 1960s. Question number 8. How one might refer to Idris Elba's navel, at least between 2002 and 2008. Again, question number 8. How one might refer to Idris Elba's navel, at least between 2002 and 2008. Before and after, question number 9. I was vacationing in Uruguay when I heard you on the wireless back in '52. I was lying awake, intently tuning into you. Again, question number 9. I was vacationing in Uruguay when I heard you on the wireless back in '52. I was lying awake, intently tuning into you. And finally, the last question in the round, question number 10. You're on holiday in Rome. You turn around, close your eyes, and throw a coin over your shoulder. If you're lucky, you'll receive this writing utensil for your next birthday. Again, question number 10. You're on holiday in Rome. You turn around, close your eyes, and throw a coin over your shoulder. If you're lucky, you'll receive this writing utensil for your next birthday. All right, I'm happy, and some of you may be happy to acknowledge that was the final before and after question. I will go back and read all of them one more time before we move on to the final round of the night. Here we go. Question number 1 from the before and after questions. After facing off against Tom Brady this Sunday, he plans to relax by taking a trip to this Canadian housewares store. Question number 2. This country suffered a coup this past week. It was almost as unsettling as this 2015 Matt Damon film. Question number 3. According to Merriam-Webster, it's an urban male given to enhancing his personal appearance by fastidious grooming. They may or may not groom themselves while listening to Marvin Gaye sing, "Let's Get Down Tonight." Question number 4. The Raptors are currently sharing an arena with this NHL team. Apparently, they're huge fans of a 1994 single from the band Live. Question number 5. She's released at least 31 new songs during the pandemic. That's almost as many people as live in this small Saskatchewan city. Question number 6. Marshall McLuhan does karaoke and covers this hit from The Police. Number 7. Travel from the ovaries to the uterus in style, wearing this sleeveless number originally made popular in the 1960s. Number 8. It's how some might refer to Idris Elba's navel, at least between 2002 and 2008. Question number 9. I was vacationing in Uruguay when I heard you on the wireless back in '52. I was lying awake, intently tuning in to you. And finally, the last question in the round. You're on holiday in Rome. You turn around, close your eyes, and throw a coin over your shoulder. If you're lucky, you'll receive this writing utensil for your next birthday. All right, those are the questions that make up round number 5, the 4 and after round. We will now move on to the final round of the night, the final Jeopardy round, as we inch towards the end of the evening. I try, for those who are new tonight, to make this a 2-hour event so everyone, can move on to their Netflix binging or whatever you do these days at 10 o'clock. So we're getting we've got 20 minutes, and then we can let you go. The next round, all of these questions are taken from a real-life Jeopardy episode. R.I.P. Alex. They cannot be disputed because I didn't write these questions. And what also is important to note is the date, the original air date of this episode. It means it frames the confines of these questions. Nothing that's happened in human history after this air date can be referenced in these answers simply because nothing's happened yet. So the air date of this Jeopardy episode, February 27th, 2007. So really nothing from the last 14 years of human history. Got it? That sounds more complicated than it is. I'll read the category and the clue. You write down the answer. Each answer is worth a point. Here we go. Category number 1, Prime Madonna. Or Preem Madonna, I guess, but spelled prime. Question number 1. Here it is. In January 1985, Madonna and this actor had their first date. They'd be married by August. Again, question number 1, the category, Prime Madonna. The clue, in January 1985, Madonna and this actor had their first date. They'd be married by August. Here's question number 2, the category, also a 3-letter tree. I didn't know there were so many 3-letter trees, but apparently there's at least 6 of them to make up an entire Jeopardy round. Here's the clue. A member of the olive family or the residue of something burned. Again, question number 2, the category is also a 3-letter tree. The clue, a member of the olive family or the residue of something burned. Yes, Becky, I fully agree that I am not, for the purposes of the before and after, I am equating these two things, but in reality, I recognize there is a grave difference between the two, though that film wasn't worth the hype. But that's an aside. But point taken. Question number 3. The category brand names is the clue. Is the category, rather. The clue. It's the rhyming brand name of a popular slender jerky snack that comes in Tabasco and nacho flavors. Question number 3, the category brand names and the clue. It's the rhyming brand name of a popular slender jerky snack that comes in Tabasco and nacho flavors. Question number 4, the category political science. The clue, quote, every community is established with a view to some good, says this ancient man's politics. Politics in quotations and capitalized, meaning it's a piece of literature. Again, number 4, the category is political science, and the clue, quote, every community is established with a view to some good, says this ancient man's politics. Question number 5, the category who says, who in this context, referring to the World Health Organization. The clue, in the year 2000, Rift Valley fever scared the WHO by making its first appearance outside this continent. Question number 5 again. Category is WHO says, or who says, and the clue, in the year 2000, Rift Valley fever scared the WHO by making its first appearance outside of this continent. Question number 6, the category, double Z. Every answer in this category included 2 Zs back to back. The clue, meteorologically speaking, it's a very light rain in which the droplets are less than 1/50th an inch in diameter. I did not know that there was a scientific definition of this. Again, question number 6, the category, double Z, the clue. Meteorologically speaking, it's a very light rain in which the droplets are less than 1/50th an inch in diameter. Question number 7, the category, African American literature. The clue, this poet and author called the first volume of her autobiography, quote, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. Category again for question number 7 is African American literature. The clue, this poet and author called the first volume of her autobiography, quote, I Know Why the Cage Bird Sings. Question number 8, the category, anagrammed books of the Bible. In this category, Alex would read a phrase, and contestants would have to rearrange those letters to figure out what book of the Bible he was referring to. The clue, deny our tome. The category again is anagrammed books of the Bible. And the clue, deny our tome. Tome, T-O-M, Jacob. M is in motel. Question number 9, the category, prima donna. We had prima donna, and now it's prima donna. Question is, in 1968, she joined the fashion house of Anne Klein. In 1984, she started her own company.